situation. He could have taken any route he wanted.
Welcome to the source. Source. Hey, get the source.
Yo, what's up? Oh shit, it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope you all are having a lovely week. Hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving, whether it's with family, friends, or if you have to work, whatever you're doing, I hope you enjoy it. There is some college basketball on. Obviously, there's some NFL. There's even a college football game. Now, we'll talk about the football tomorrow on the live stream at 11 a.m. I also have handicapping videos up for all the football games if you want to check them out. They're up already. Bills beating the 49ers. That's all we care about. Is that still 6.5, that one, Eric? That was 6.5 early in the week.
Did you want to apologize to your 100,000 subscribers about your Creighton pick?
Apologize that we got hosed?
I'm just
we got hooked. Oh, my God. Working on Thanksgiving is absolutely insane. Apollo, what do you think we're doing right now?
I'm surprised he's not working. Guaranteed he picks up his shit
That
tomorrow.
dude's always working. He's always working. All right, so we got 5 games to get to. Golden State's playing the Thunder tough right now. Why are we watching Feast Week when we got some good NBA ball on right now?
Yeah, okay.
1-point game. This North Carolina game's over, by the way.
Thank you.
Michigan State has the ball. You lost those.
What an upset for Michigan State. They needed that, though.
All right, so let's run through these games because I still have a lot of college football to get through tonight before I go to sleep. So 1 sec, hit that. Let's go. Golden State just
looked. Did you see that
lead.
Louisville's -2 now, Andy?
Yeah. I don't know how to look at that team anymore.
All right, Florida. Lane 7.5, Wake Forest. Obviously, this is a neutral site game, correct?
Yes.
Correct. Andy's going to take the floor on this one. I texted Andy. I said, I think we have to bet Wake Forest. And he said in capital letters, yes. So
okay.
I kind of want to take the money line. Okay. So
I forgot you said that too.
Yeah. I kind of want to be just dumb and take the money line. Weird. This is the weirdest one because Ken Pom has it at 11. The line's 7.5 and going down. People are betting Wake Forest. And I think they're one of the most misunderstood teams to start the season because I think they're very good. I think they're a tournament team, but in their wins, they've been playing some close games with some bad teams, right? They opened up. I don't remember who they opened up with. It was a close game, but they played Detroit Mercy. I think they beat Detroit Mercy by 10 and people were kind of like, what the heck? But this team did beat Michigan. So that was a big win that they had earlier in the year. So it's, and I believe they played Xavier and they played a close game with Xavier. Or it was close for a long time. So this team's played good teams. They've definitely played good teams, but I think they match up well. They defend the inside well, which is where Florida's been eating. They haven't been hitting their threes, but they've been defending the inside well. They match up in terms of height. They match up. The only thing they don't match up with is pace, but I really don't think that's going to matter on a neutral floor where I think they're going to be hitting shots. So I don't think that necessarily matters. I just think overall they can match up with Florida. Florida's a very good team, but they're very, very, very reliant on me being able to make shots to win some of these games, some of these 3-pointers. And again, on neutral sites, I don't think that where that's going to happen. They've only really been making 2s, but they want to be making 3s. That's how Todd Golden teams work with Walter Clayton and some of these guys. So Florida has not necessarily been playing perfect. So I like Wake here.
I agree 100%. I also wanted to touch on the fact that Wake Forest did lose to Xavier and beat Michigan, but that Xavier loss, I mean, what does that look like now that Michigan just beat the hell out of Xavier just today? So, again, not that you're going to compare those on a basis like that, but it just makes that Xavier loss, knowing that they beat a team in Michigan that killed Xavier, makes you feel a little bit better about that as well. I also think that Wake has the guys to make Florida really have to work hard offensively, something that they haven't done. Efton Reed, Drew Karras, Tavon Spillers, all those guys are 6'7". Efton Reed's a 7-footer. I think they finally Florida's going to be meeting their match with guys on the inside. And Andy also touched on it, the pace thing with Florida. Florida, a top 20 team as far as pace. But guess what? Wake Forest has seen every team that they've played besides Detroit Mercy has been pace team. North Carolina State, number 13. Michigan, number 25. UCS Upstate, number number 44. Xavier's number 64. So Florida being 20, it's really that not big of a step up in pace for them. They've been used to playing at this pace the whole time, or their whole season. I also think that you haven't seen the best out of Hunter Silas yet. I think that it's going to happen here sooner or later. And yeah, getting 7.5, especially again, if you're pay attention to college basketball lines, anytime that there's a big edge, when the Ken Palm line is, like Andy said, 11, and now we're getting 7 in and moving the wrong way as far as from the Ken Palm line, there's usually probably a reason for that. I'm not trying to make it seem like it's going to win just because of that, but there's usually a reason for that. I like Wake in the points too.
I see Coleman's watching the same game I am. AM1, Kyle Anderson. Great bucket there. All right, well, I would lean towards Florida. I mean, Mike White was holding this program down, and now that they got that anchor out of here.
Yeah, he's such a good anchor. He's such a good, classy dude, really.
So I would lean towards Florida. Let's move on to the next game. I don't know shit about Florida, guys. I'm just the host here.
It's okay.
Purdue.
You're a big Todd Golden guy.
Yeah.
All right, we got another 7.5 point line. Purdue laying against NC State. I'm wondering if CJ Bailey electricity through the program here. Does he lift the best?
Who that is.
I guarantee you, Andy knows who that is.
Guarantee you, nobody watching this knows who that is besides Andy.
I was actually going through their football game, and
Hold on, let's do a real quick poll.
Let's please do it.
Do you know?
And there's no Googling, there's no cheating. If you know the
answer
you know
honestly. Do you know who CJ Bailey is? Yes. No. Answer honestly. It's an anonymous poll. It's not embarrassing if you don't know. I'm guessing people are voting yes, because not everyone is a moron like you, Toast. People actually know things.
Well, can't win them all.
Okay, the votes are coming in pretty heavy on the no.
Okay. So,
CJ Bailey is the freshman phenom quarterback that's taken over the starting job here at NC State. He's the future of the football program. CJ Bailey, remember the name. Might be playing on Sunday someday.
I remember the name Champ Bailey because he was good at his job. I wonder if CJ's anywhere close. Probably.
He's
not.
a freshman.
Yeah.
Champ Bailey, Georgia legend.
I did not know that he went to Georgia. I regret saying
Nor did I care.
CJ Bailey's also very good. They're going to win this weekend. NC State's not going to win this game. I'm interested because Toast, one of the only things Toast hinted at was he just said, just bet Purdue. So I just want him to lead this out because that's all he said, just bet Purdue.
Yeah, bet Purdue at -7. I think that they win this game by double digits. What's my two favorite words, Andy? Guard play. And it's night and day difference here with Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer. Not to mention, I've been kind of impressed with what CJ Cox has been able to do. I mean, he's a freshman for Purdue, but I mean, he's kind of been off and on, but he looked pretty damn good at the Alabama game. He was pretty decent in the Yale game. Really was non-existent in the Marquette game, but I think the whole Purdue team was non-existent in that game. But you're getting a Purdue team under double digits here. I guess it's because it's on a neutral. Maybe it's because some people still have a little bit of love for NC State after what they did last year. But you have a Purdue team that has played one of the tougher schedules in the country. They had a couple cupcakes to start, if I can get it out. But then they had number 100 Yale, number 7 Alabama, number 10 Marquette, number 155 Marshall. And now they play an NC State team that's literally played nobody. The best team that they've played is William and Mary. I just think that Purdue is outclassing them everywhere, not to mention the fact that the rebounding advantage that Purdue is going to have. I understand that they haven't rebounded as well, but the height advantage for Purdue in this game is very, very big. Purdue a top 100, probably a top 90 team as far as height concerns. NC State's pushing like the 280s. I don't have it written down exactly, but I do distinctly remember that. And also, NC State can't really shoot the three ball at all. And again, like Andy's talked about many times on these neutral site games on teams that can't shoot threes and they're relying on inside, I trust the defense of Purdue to give NC State issues here. So I just thought 7 was too many. I made this game Purdue -11. I think that NC State is being completely overvalued here. The step down in class for Purdue after their last 4 or 5 games is very significant. I don't think that NC State finishes anywhere near number 55 by the end of this year, that being over. I think they're probably like 120-ish. So I think Purdue wins in a rout. Andy?
In a rout, he said.
Dog walk.
I tend to agree. What I look pretty much what he said. When you look at the stats and you go through the list of everything, it kind of looks like NC State should match up well. But then you go through the teams they played, and it's like very obvious. This is just a team that hasn't been tested yet. And I don't know how they built their schedule, but you think they would have wanted to be tested before they went to a neutral to play Purdue, but they didn't clearly. This is just, I think, an unfortunate game where I think they're going to get ran out of the gym. They're the one thing that they benefit from is they run a much faster pace than Purdue. But again, on these neutrals, I don't know that matters as much, especially when you're clearly outclassed in terms of talent. So that might be the one benefit. If they can make it a track meet, maybe they got a shot. But I'm hard pressed. A lot of the talent that was on that March Madness Magic team is pretty much gone. So I don't really see that happen.
Got something in from the Roddfather.
Yes.
Please.
All right, the Roddfather says, bet under the total in Kevin Keats games after a blowout win by 20 points or more. The under's record during his tenure as coach of NC State is 23-8. And that's crazy that he said that because I swear I was just setting up the text box to type in under. Based on what you said, as you said, NC State likes to speed the pace up, but Purdue, obviously the stronger team's going to be able to dictate the pace under, right?
Yeah, and to that point with the pace, NC State looked decent against William and Mary, and that's the best offense that they've seen by far this year. And William and Mary's offense is like 131. Purdue's number 12, and William and Mary runs a very fast pace. So for them to score, for NC State to score 84 with 76 possessions, I think they'll probably get around 65 possessions here today. Tomorrow. Them scoring a whole bunch of points is just really hard for me to see.
All right, let's move on to the next game.
Brought up the Louisville game again. I'm at an interesting crossroads early on in the season. I've had back-to-back good days, but I've had games where they were stinkers, and nobody will let me forget it. It's impressive.
Welcome to sports betting YouTube, bro. You can win 10 in a row.
Louisville, what did they shoot? Like they made like eight possessions in a row where they hit a 3-pointer. It felt like earlier. Like, what do you want me to do? I can't cap that.
Yeah, no, that's just sports betting. You literally could go 15-0 one day, lose the first game the next day, and be like, this guy sucks. Just fade him. That's sports betting YouTube. Arkansas, Illinois.
I lost a bet today, guys, because a team had 6 men on the floor in the final 5 seconds of a fucking basketball game.
I think a lot of people
Six
had
men.
that in the group, too, because there was a lot of people talking about that in the Discord.
I lost because of overtime because your team can't defend the 3. Oh, he's gone. He'll pop back in. There he is.
Oh, okay. Was it just me that was frozen?
Yeah.
No, it was like a second. You popped out for a second. It was, you're good. Tinker says, let's not talk about Louisville. His Hoosiers took a hard one. Took a beating today. And dude, did you guys see how embarrassing it was for me in the group? Because I didn't realize that the game has started. It was a day game. So Helms, he sent a Louisville GIF in the thing. He was celebrating that Louisville was winning. I thought he was letting everybody know to bet Louisville. So I was like, nah, Andy's on Indiana. He's been seeing it clearly.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like they were down 50. Like when I was saying that, they were down 50 points. I didn't even know.
Yeah, it was ugly. They're gonna need to call Brad Stevens.
Yeah, someone else is bringing up the Creighton game. Man, I got hooked. I was on the right side. I got hooked. I was on the right side start to finish. Texas A&M. I can't wait to fade Texas A&M in the next game. Arkansas, Illinois. So now that Shannon Brown's who's the star here in Illinois?
I guess the star would be.
They usually have a star. That's why I'm asking.
I know they don't this year though. I guess that the freshman guard, the Jackalukas or however you say his name. I mean, they don't really have a guy that's like dominates their shots. I mean, they have multiple guys. Like as far as you look at KenPom, they usually show you like the amount of possessions each player gets, so you have an idea of who's going to get the ball when. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that are all getting the ball around that 20% of the possession. So they really don't have a guy. They just have a whole bunch of big guys.
Yeah, Coleman Hawkins isn't there anymore, right? Hawkins.
He went to Kansas State. He's having a rough start to the year.
Oh, right, because the Kansas State center got in some trouble, right?
Yeah, he's having a bad. They're having a. But Kansas State's actually not good now. So
they're terrible.
Oh my
they're
God,
absolutely
it's
terrible.
November. It's November.
Oh, they're terrible.
These games won't mean anything.
Absolutely terrible.
Lost to Liberty the other day, dude.
All right. So what are you betting the starless Illinois team? This seems pretty short for against Arkansas.
Well, I think you're getting a little Calipari love here in this line. That's the only thing that really makes sense to me. I don't know how you feel, Andy. I'd like to hear your thoughts, but I think Illinois should beat this team pretty easily.
When I think of Calipari teams from the years past, they usually have somebody down low and a big man that can make the difference inside. But I don't think that matters in this game because Illinois is defending inside very well. So maybe I'm an idiot. I think that they're like 6 or 7 points better than Arkansas. Arkansas, they're a Calipari team, so they run fast, but so does Illinois. So like in every aspect that Arkansas can run, I think Illinois matches up perfectly. So I like Illinois pretty comfortably here, especially in a neutral site.
Doesn't that feel? Wait a second. Is that the real Ruffalo in the chat? Ruffalo, if it's really you, code word. What did I used to call you on the college football show? What was your nickname? Prove it's the real Ruffalo.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, well, he would know it too. So if it's a fake, if it's a fake Ruffalo, he's not going to know the answer to that. Don't you think this line is suspiciously short? We're polling at 70%. Every single person that clicked the poll clicked Illinois.
Really?
Doesn't this look like a sneaky spot to take Arkansas? I don't know shit about either team.
I know. I want to see what the line does, to be honest with you. But I guess Arkansas, I guess I just don't really know what to think with Arkansas. Obviously Calipari being there for just 1 year. I mean, they have some good players. I mean, DJ Wagner's pretty good. John L. Davis, that guy that used to play at Florida Atlantic that a lot of people like. They got 7-footer. They got one 7-footer that's 7'2", a couple 6'8" guys. That Trevon Brazil kid, 6'10". I just that Tiro kid's really good. That's a junior that came over with him from Kentucky. But at the same time, like Illinois is one team that can match up with them as far as size wise. I mean, Arkansas is a very big team too. They're 65 in the country, but Illinois is number 5. And the thing that kills me is that Arkansas is not really doing a very good job of rebounding, especially on the offensive end. And if they have any trouble shooting, they're going to need to be able to do that. And I don't think they're going to be able to do that against an Illinois team that's, like I said, absolutely huge across the board. 6'6", 6'8", 6'9", 7'1". The only kid that's small is Boswell, and he's a junior, and he's going to be he's a guard that I trust. He used to play for Arizona and Tommy Lloyd, and he came over. But I just don't I guess I don't understand this line. I mean, I guess because it's on a neutral and Illinois hasn't really played anybody either, but they played Alabama, and I mean, they didn't look great against Alabama because Alabama blitzed them early, but they were played pretty even in that second half. So not to mention the fact that Alabama shot up 34 threes in that game. I don't think you're going to see that from this Arkansas team. So I made Illinois -5. I'm curious to see if this line goes up to 2, down to 2 or up to 3 in the next couple hours.
It's confirmed. That is the real Ruffalo. What's up, man? Good to see you. I have something from the Roddfather, and his nickname was Rat Hawk. Something
Never
from the Roddfather in bet on Illinois after a game out rebounding opponent by 20 or more. Illinois' record since the 2024 season 5-0 against the spread. I don't like that one. I want to bet. Someone said that Ruffalo's on Arkansas, but I don't know if he was just saying that.
I think he was messing around, but maybe he is.
Ruffalo, are you really on Arkansas here? Because I kind of like Arkansas. It's a sketchy line. Everyone's taking Illinois.
I will say that the one thing that Arkansas is kind of similar in Alabama is that pace. I mean, Arkansas, is going to want to run probably a little bit. I'm sure they're taking with whatever they saw from that Alabama game and trying to make a game plan out of it. But yeah.
Someone said the Roddfather is Modi's dad.
Dude, I saw Modi getting flamed today.
He was getting crushed.
He was getting crushed.
Someone wants to know, Toast, did you already talk about bat speed? I think Ruffalo left. I guess so. I'll put Arkansas up for me.
And I just want to say I appreciate every single one of you.
That would be fascinating.
Ruffalo says he was leaning Arkansas. He took him on his free pick.
I agree with you, Kyle, that the line is a little bit suspicious.
That's what I'm saying. And
I agree with that. I'm very curious to see where this goes, whether tonight or tomorrow morning.
And based on what you guys just said, because I said, who's the star in Illinois? You couldn't really give me a straight answer. You named a couple freshmen. Some people answered in the comments. They named freshmen. Just saying. We
What
could
did
be
they
freshmen.
say in the comments? I'm just curious.
Yeah, okay, so people were answering the question. We got some like real college basketball
Yeah, I know.
heads in
That's
here.
why I asked what they said. Yeah.
So Rod said Kasparis, Jack.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just didn't want to pronounce. Yeah. The Jack.
No,
He's 6'6" freshman guard. Yeah. He's good.
And Jay Bulk said Kasparis and Riley. They're no star. Kasparis and Riley are both freshmen. He said. So everyone kind of said that the Jakunis guy or whatever.
Yeah, he's good.
Need to be this guy. Calipari teams don't always have a lot of experience either. So this team's not exactly experienced. They're 246 in experience. So
Whatever.
one of these teams have much experience at all. So
Sweet.
don't know that matters. On a neutral floor, which has I think they've both played on a neutral floor at this point. So I don't think that'll be a shock to them either. I think Illinois played a neutral as well.
Here's a question for you, Andy, just really quickly. You don't have to give a reason, but if you're starting a program tomorrow, do you take John Calipari or Brad Underwood?
I'm taking Cal. I've always been a fan of Cal.
What if the money's there? What if you have money with Brad?
Oh, I got.
Still taking
Oh, if
Cal?
I already have all the money, I don't need Calipari's recruiting. I'm taking Brad because Calipari can't. But
That's what I wanted to know.
He recruits so well.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Next game.
So next up is Ole Miss, BYU. I can't unsee BYU what they did last year.
I can't unsee what I saw on your computer screen just now.
So, Andy, Andy, you can't go to Andy first on this one because it's SEC and he won't give us.
All right.
That's why you should, because we were kind of on opposite sides, and then we talked about it. But
yeah, I talked. If you ever want to see how my mind goes through games, you just look at the text messages from like 11 o'clock.
Oh, I have something in from Rat Hawk real quick on the last game before we move on. He said Illinois' defensive numbers seem a bit inflated to me from their schedule outside of Alabama. I got a Rat Hawk graphic loaded up if he's going to be joining the midnight streams. I gotta have a graphic ready for him. All right. Anyway, sorry to cut you off, Andy.
Very good. I try to script games, and on this game, I couldn't find a single way where Ole Miss can like keep themselves in it. The way that these two teams play, they're both fat. They both run fast. Whatever, that's fine. They both shoot a ton of threes. Well, BYU is so much taller. They rebound so much better. It's a neutral floor. So if they're both going to be missing threes early in the game, neutral floor. Tell me how Ole Miss is going to stay in it, rebounding these misses. They're not going to be able to rebound. They're going to get out-rebounded by a ton. BYU, they're going to be able to get a big lead early, and then I don't know how Ole Miss makes up for that. That's how I was thinking about it. I couldn't find a single way. Like, how do you make up for such – look at the advantage in height goes from 330. Ole Miss is 330th in height. BYU's 13th. The rebounding numbers are starkly different. BYU is second in rebounding on defense and 11th on offense. So, like, they're a sick rebounding team. Ole Miss hasn't really played much this year either. They struggled with, I want to say it was Southern, right? They struggled with Graham. They've struggled with South Alabama. They had a good game against Colorado State, but they've struggled in a couple of their games. So, this BYU team is very talented. They're very tall. They can shoot. I don't know a way Ole Miss keeps it close, and I wanted to get to Ole Miss because I like Coach Beard. I think that this team's very good, and I like the way the SEC has kind of just been running through opponents to this point. There's not a single SEC team right now that's having a bad start to the season, and like but this seems like the spot where where BYU beats an SEC team. So BYU.
BYU has the projected number 2 pick in the NBA draft behind Cooper Flagg, right? The 6'9" point. Am I right on that? The 6'9" point guard.
Projected number 2.
Who's the best player on BYU? It's the 6'9" point guard, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they have an NBA guy at point guard.
Projected to get the number 1.
I call him Edgar Demon, but that's not how you say his name at all.
I have something from the Roddfather in. He says, bet against an underdog after a blowout win by 30 points or more against an opponent scoring 75 points or more 5 straight games. Since 2020, 36-10 against the spread. Who's that applicable to? Who just had a blowout win?
They both did.
So he said bet against an underdog. So this is an angle for BYU.
Yeah.
No,
Let's just beat Oral Roberts by 32.
good.
Yeah.
Program
and
sucks.
BYU just beat Mississippi Valley State by 40. So, and Idaho by 25 or
The
something.
best
Like
followers on college basketball team.
Yeah, Rod definitely likes BYU because I have another one for the Roddfather here before you go, Toast. Let's. It looks like he likes BYU in multiple ways here. Got 2 angles in. This one says, bet on BYU in away or neutral games after 4 straight games committing 14 or less turnovers. BYU's record since last year, 8-0 in such instances. Okay.
never lost.
All right, Toast.
Just to Andy's point about Mississippi looking really good against Colorado State. They also, Mississippi in that game, shot nearly 50% from deep in that game. I just have a very hard time believing they have that type of success against a lengthy BYU team. BYU doesn't defend the 3 very well, but with this game being on the neutral and BYU's length, I think that they make Mississippi try to, or at least run them off that line. And Mississippi's production from three-point range into the 2-point field goals is astronomically differently. They're one of the best teams in the country shooting the 3 ball. They're barely shooting 50% from inside the arc, and that's going to be real hell for a team against a team like BYU that does a very good job. They're number 28th in the country defending on the inside, obviously because of their length, and they also score on the inside. And BYU doesn't really rely on the 3 ball to get other scoring. They're very good at it, but they also get a lot of very good and easy looks because of how big they are. Not to mention the fact that I don't really think that Kevin Young is a very bad coach. I think that I think there's a reason that they gave him the job. I think this is by far his biggest test in his short term as far as the BYU coach is concerned. The only thing that worries me a little bit, but the fact that Mississippi plays at a higher pace kind of doesn't make me worry about it as much, is BYU can't shoot free throws for whatever the reason is. So far, they're one of the worst teams in the country shooting from the free throw line. So if this game is close late, that could give a major advantage to Ole Miss because they're actually one of the better free throw shooting teams in the country. But as far as everything else is concerned, it's all BYU for me. So yeah, there's probably no way I don't play BYU tomorrow.
There's no way you don't play BYU.
I said probably there's no way I don't play it. You want to type
That's a little unclear. Probably there's no way. Probably there's no way he doesn't play it.
There's no way I don't.
If the line moves, because again, it's not like I can't. I'm about to bet BYU, but it's going to be 5-6 by the time everybody watches this game or watches this video.
Oh, well, let them know that. Okay, so BYU. I got something from Ruffalo in. Chris Beard is 0-6 against the spread against top 25 3-point shooting teams. 3 days or less after eating a chip. I didn't even read the whole thing. I thought it was a real trend, and I realized it halfway through. So, Chris Beard is. I didn't know he was fucking around. All right, I thought it was real. Chris Beard is 0-6 against the spread against top 25 3-point shooting teams 3 days or less after eating Chipotle at a neutral site.
I honestly thought there was something wrong with my screen because you were delivering it like a real one.
I thought it was
like, am I missing something?
I got to start proofreading these.
Oh, that was hilarious. You never know what happens on Sauce After Dark.
Yeah, I mean, I guess BYU. See, the problem is, if you guys remember, I took BYU to go far in the tournament, and then that was like my pick. Like my sleeper pick was BYU in the Final Four. I think I had them.
Yeah, Ali Khalifa sent you over the edge that day.
Oh
that
my God! Yeah,
he's at Louisville now. You're gonna see him later in the year when you're watching college basketball. He is
Andy's obsessed.
Someone said you could tell Rat Hawk's excited for Thanksgiving. All right, so let's move on to the last game, and then we'll do the community hit again. By the way, the community.
Also, I'm literally betting BYU as you speak.
All right, I'll probably bet that with you. Oh, nice, St. Mary's, a real school.
Yeah, this is a real good West Coast program, unlike one that lost before.
Well, they actually won.
You know what? It would be funny is if the 2-time defending champions took the St. Mary's point guard and then they turned into shit themselves. Wouldn't that be kind of funny?
Would be.
Someone says I fuck with Rat Hawk's energy. You don't know Ruffalo? You never watched Ruffalo before? I figured like everyone knew who Ruffalo was.
Yeah.
All right. USC, St. Mary's. St. Mary's laying 4.5. Is the number big enough? I say no.
I agree. 100%. 100%. USC hasn't looked good at all at any point of the year, and they have played a dog shit schedule. So their best win would be Chattanooga. If you want to give Chattanooga their flowers for being in the Southern Conference, that's cool. They're not even the best team in that conference. Actually, they're like middle of the pack, most likely. So really, really tough. Not to mention the fact that Chattanooga, never mind, I'm not even going to get on a tangent about them. But USC, on the other hand, looked very, very shaky against Idaho State. They looked even shakier against UT Arlington, who's even worse than Chattanooga. They lost to California. I guess they had a somewhat decent win against San Jose State. But that game was kind of close somewhat. I mean, ended up being 82-68, but it felt a lot closer than it really was, at least in my opinion. And then their last game against Grambling, I think they were down at half, or they were at least tied at half, and then they had a really good first 10 minutes of the second half, and that was kind of like essentially the game. Grambling couldn't make up the run, but now they're going to be seeing a St. Mary's offense that's 25th in the country. Prior to that, the best offense they had seen, like I talked about, is Chattanooga at 133, Idaho State's 251, San Jose State's 203, Grambling State's 260. And the other thing that I think is very interesting about that is that all those teams that I mentioned with bad offenses run a slow pace as well, like St. Mary's does. And I think that only plays into St. Mary's advantage because, again, you're worrying about a team that with St. Mary's that's going to play through their defense. They're going to have the height to match up with USC. USC is always going to be a big team. St. Mary's has the height to match up with that. Not to mention the fact that St. Mary's has the minutes continuity. They know how they know how Randy Bennett coaches. They know how they want to play. They're going to make this game an absolute crawl. They're going to play through their rebounding. St. Mary's is the number one offensive rebounding team in the country. They're always good offensive rebounding team. Again, the only thing that worries me a little bit is if this game is within one or two possessions, St. Mary's isn't a great free throw shooting team. But as far as styles go, as far as talent is concerned, I think that St. Mary's plays a better style of basketball right now, or is playing better basketball. I think St. Mary's has better players on their team. And especially offensively and on the rebounds, I just don't see how UFC gets anything going here. So I know the must bus and all that stuff is a really cool hype train for USC right now, but I also think there's a reason that St. Mary's is a 4.5 point favorite. Route.
Two legits in the comments asking you guys about who you guys got, UConn or Dayton.
Maui overs. Duh. That's simple, boys.
That shit is so stupid, bro. I might bet the under just out of spite. You told me it was the last island game. Andy, can you tell him that shit is stupid, please?
You're wrong. I mean, it's.
Oh my god, that's not a thing,
dude.
For those of you
how is it not a thing? It's gonna go 9, maybe 10.
Okay,
and 2,
I'm not saying the
3.
overs didn't hit. I'm saying trying to convince me that rims are different on islands.
Dude, they alluded to it on the broadcast.
If you want to try to tell me maybe that players on vacation, maybe the defense isn't there. I don't know, some kind of logical basketball reason. But you're not going to tell me that.
Just watch the game and watch the ball go boing, boing, in every time.
All right, hold on. I'm putting a poll up. Let's see how reasonable our crowd is. Our
crowd is a knowledgeable crew. Every single person is going to click yes. I promise you.
I have seen people say Dayton. Toast has said that he thinks Dayton too close. I tend to disagree.
Dayton can cover, personally.
But also at the same time, these two teams have been the complete opposite of what I thought they would be, so I didn't bet the game. I thought UConn would come into Maui, have a really good shot to win it. I still thought Iowa State was going to win it. That was completely off. I thought Dayton was going to be completely outclassed, and they looked really good in some of their games. So, in both of their games.
Shout out to Bobby Hurley getting out of his own way and benching Aiden Mahaney, though. Good for him.
I mean, Danny Hurley.
Sorry.
People are really voting real.
I say that every time.
Yeah.
I'm a West Coast guy.
Yeah, hey. Bobby's worse. You know that,
right? I'd rather watch Arizona State play.
Tinker, happy Thanksgiving to you as well, man. Appreciate it. 1 second. We have something from the Roddfather in on this game. Let me just get it up. So, by the way, it looks like the poll is leaning towards island rims being real, which means we have a bunch of conspiracy theorists watching. Island rims. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. All right, so the Roddfather sends in. Bet on USC. On the money line, after 5 straight games committing 14 or less turnovers, USC's record in such instances 13-4 since last season. So, Andy, what do you think about this St. Mary's game?
I have the under. The more talented team is St. Mary's. The team that's defensive oriented is St. Mary's. They're the better team. They're going to control the pace. It's going to be a slow game, like Toast alluded to. Both teams also don't shoot a lot of threes. Both teams like to eat in the 2-point, in the paint, pretty much within the 3-point line, whatever. And that usually strikes under to me. Under one. I have a graphic in there. I made it. Under 141.5. I know the number's a little. I wanted it to be a little higher. The number's a little lower than I'd like it to be. But it's a neutral as well. You got to throw that in. I know it's in California, so both of these teams really didn't travel. But again, it's an NBA arena. It's in Acrisure where they've been playing the Acrisure Invitational. So there's been some unders and those as well. Actually have one right now. So, yeah, this seems like a good under spot.
I was thinking under 2 until Toast said that St. Mary's is 25th in the country offensively, though.
Yeah, but they're also 335th in average possession length. They're trying to make this game a crawl.
Make it like.
So of this poll, are Island rims real or fake? 57% of you voted real. 43% of you voted fake. That's nonsense. Toast is high.
Well, I'm 10-3 betting. Well, we'll see what happens here in this game, but it's a fantastic start so far. So we'll see, and I'll keep on getting
based
high.
on what you guys said, tell me we shouldn't go here.
I can tell you what it is. Or did you already look?
No, I just did a quick math of what it should be.
Good for Rutgers, by the way.
Did they win?
A lot of people.
They didn't win.
They didn't win. The fact that this game's close is a win for them. Because I
turned it off because I knew Alabama wasn't covering.
What about this right here, Toast? USC team total under.
Definitely, yeah. Either way, I don't think. Yeah, I think that St. Mary's wins probably something like 75-62 or something of that nature.
I'm putting up the poll for St. Mary's. Actually, we're done with this game. Let's just do the community top bet. Community going for 3 in a row. You guys hit Rutgers the other night. Then you hit so the community hit 3 in a row, but 2 in a row. Both of them were by the nipple. Like you got the hook on A&M, and then Rutgers went to overtime, and you covered that -1.5. So community top bet.
That would mean Rutgers lost then, because I had Rutgers -1.5 and it lost.
No,
so
they won.
They won by 1.
Oh, then no, the community's not going for 3 in a row. They did win by 1 because I had the money line in the league. All right, community top bet going for 2 in a row then because Rutgers did lose. That's correct. All right, so the polls. Let's see. First game they like Purdue.
Just so you guys know my luck, that Rutgers game and then to Oklahoma, back-to-back days, that's just how I roll in college basketball.
That's just how he rolls, guys.
Oh, my God.
Florida -7.5.
Cal Baptist, Fresno State. Decent start. A little nervous.
So is Dayton up 5-3. I think UConn already lost.
If they lose, I mean, their fan base, I've been seeing it on Twitter. They're insane already. They're going to go off. If they finish dead last in the Maui Invitational, God bless them.
Holy shit. Wake's down to 5.5.
Oh, we got CLV.
I know, but what sucks is that everybody's going to look on the website and they're not going to be able to bet. That's what sucks.
It's all right. Give them incentive to pay. Wait, hold on. UConn and Dayton starting right now?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, it's Maui.
It's 7:30 in Maui right now.
30 there. There was the first.
You at least have to admit the East Coast is the absolute worst time zone possible.
It is. I wish we were Central. Central's a decent one.
It's the best time zone.
What is it?
What's the best time zone? I mean, dude, on the West Coast, if you're up at midnight, you're like a freak awake on the West Coast.
Yeah, so what? I'm up at midnight every night.
Yeah, because you're a freak. UConn Dayton.
It is really weird, like waking up at 7 a.m. and thinking you're like up and early and ready or whatever, and it's like 11 a.m. and you've already been awake for 2 hours. And
so BYU -3.5 is the community top bet. Here's
Love it.
The one.
I thought it should have been Purdue personally, but
it's not the Andy top bet.
No, I'm fine with that.
Andy, I don't think you understand how it works. It's the community's top bet.
Terrible.
It's the community's top bet, not yours.
If it was up to me, Detroit would have been a few days ago. How would that have gone?
Did you see that they could have won that? I mean, not could have won it, but I mean, hello.
Dude, the line went from 18 to 15 back to 18 before tip. What's going
I'm pretty
on?
sure it got to 20. Maybe that was live, but I think I even texted you and I was like, dude, the Detroit line, what the hell's going on again? Someone's point shaving in that program. I'm 100%.
100%.
Dude, there's
Investigation. I know it's happening.
yeah, the main guy that drops all this stuff for college basketball news said that there's going to be announcements in the next couple of weeks with multiple programs involved with points shaving, and I guarantee you Detroit Mercy is on that list.
All right, I got to get back to some college football stuff. We got 3 morning shows in a row coming up. So we got 11 a.m. tomorrow for Thanksgiving stream. Friday will be live at, I think me and Andy will probably be live at 11 a.m. Eastern time again because there's a college football slate on Friday. Then we'll be live at 10 a.m. on Saturday. We got Kyle Hunter coming on Saturday, so that'll be cool. And then Sunday, NFL. So, yeah, it's going to be a loaded 4 days, not to mention I got to do the family dinner thing tomorrow. So, yeah, got a lot going on.
Are we doing college basketball in the morning tomorrow?
I didn't. We don't have graphics.
Okay. And then what about on Friday? Do you want to do anything?
I'm down to set something up for Friday.
Okay, cool. I'm
definitely not tomorrow. All right, everyone, have a good night. Bet responsibly and all that. See you all bright and early Thanksgiving.